Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of The Post. Let's do it. The Post is an historical drama and biopic from director Steven Spielberg, 20th Century Fox, Amblin Entertainment, and Dreamworks Studios. The film stars Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Sarah Paulson, Bob Odenkirk, Bradley Whitford, Bruce Greenwood, Alison, Brie, Jesse Plemons, and David Cross. A cover-up that spanned 4 U.S. presidents pushed the country's first female newspaper publisher and a hard-driving editor to join an unprecedented battle between the press and the government. So yes, just to get it out of the way, I know I'm a little late to this Post. I only got to see it yesterday, so here we are. Anyway, first off, let's talk about the acting. Here's what I need to say about the acting in this film. Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Sarah Paulson, Bob Odenkirk, Bradley Whitford, Bruce Greenwood, Alison Brie, Jesse Plemons, and David Cross. I mean, what more do you need to know? But I'll extrapolate a little bit more. Of course the acting in this movie is amazing. Meryl Streep is wonderful as always. She really kills it as Kay Graham, I think was her name. She's got this one moment where she has to make this big decision, and if you know the premise of the movie, if you've seen the trailer, you know what the decision is, but I'm not going to spoil it here. The way she plays this moment is excellent. She takes a couple of really interesting choices with the performance, and it works marvelously. Tom Hanks, he's great as always. Moreover, I want to talk about Bob Odenkirk. I love Bob Odenkirk. I'm a big fan of Mr. Show, which is a sketch comedy show with David Cross from the 90s. If you've never seen it, check it out. It's freaking hilarious. But over the years, Bob Odenkirk has really started making a name for himself as a dramatic actor. The dearly departed Breaking Bad as Saul Goodman, and while that character started more as a comic character, he became more dramatic further on. He's also excellent reprising the character on Better Call Saul. I have not seen Nebraska or Fargo. I'm told he's excellent in both of those as well. And while this role is mostly dramatic for him, he does have a couple of moments to flex his comedy chops, almost slapsticky in a way, and it's great. Which brings me back to Mr. Show. So David Cross is in this movie. Now, David Cross is good in the movie. There's nothing wrong with his performance. I kind of feel like that character could have kind of been played by almost anybody. David Cross was really good in it, but it gets me thinking that maybe Steven Spielberg is just a Mr. Show fan and wanted to put the band back together. And if that's the case, I salute you, sir. Good call. I was very, not worried, but I had a feeling that Bob Odenkirk would be off in this part of the movie and David Cross would pop up in this. No. They're together most of the time on screen. The first time you see either of them, they're together having a conversation. Just made me so happy. And there is humor in this movie. There's not a lot. There's actually very little. But what is there does feel organic. And when it is funny, it's quite funny. All I'm going to say, lemonade. Laughed my head off. The dialogue in this film is also excellent. However, it is very fast-paced. You do have to really pay attention. A couple moments I found my mind wandering, and then I came back to the conversation. I was a little bit lost, so really got to focus, but the dialogue is really well written. We see Nixon in this film, and I liked what they did with it. Rather than get some actor all covered in prosthetic makeup, we see him basically back to the camera, or occasionally we see him in profile in kind of a shadowy situation. Every time we see him, he's on the phone talking to somebody. I don't know if these are actual recordings of Nixon or if they just got someone who does a really good Nixon, but it worked really well. We see him always through the windows of the Oval Office. Maybe not the Oval Office. I have yet to take a White House tour, but it's the White House. Anyway, I like that we kind of saw him as a shady character in the background. That was kind of cool. That was an interesting choice. I'll also say John Williams did the score for this movie. It does feel like vintage Williams. It's not one of the big marches like Star Wars or Superman. The music actually reminded me of Jaws. And when I say that, I don't mean I'm not talking about that. You know the scene where they're first going off into the ocean to search for Jaws? And it's oddly very happy music, even they're going into this treacherous situation. It reminded me of that. I can't remember how it goes off the top of my head, but a lot of the music in this film sounded a lot like the happier stuff from Jaws. So that's cool. One issue I had with this movie was the pacing. The pacing is a little slow, particularly in the beginning of the film. Meryl Streep's character is trying to take the Washington Post public, and there are a lot of hearings to go along with that. I understand it's a historical part of the story. I don't think they needed to focus on it as much because it did slow things down considerably, in my opinion. However, by the time you get to the third act, it's really moving at a breakneck pace, and it's really, really tense as it's coming down to this deadline. Plus, I gotta say, really, really cool to see the printing press working in action. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. All in all, The Post is a really good film, particularly if you're a bit of a history buff like myself. I will say it was not quite as good as my expectations, but given the cast and the fact that it was Spielberg, my expectations were unfairly high. But it's a damn solid film, and if you haven't seen it, I say check it out. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give The Post. And I think I'm going to give The Post a...
Fellas? This sucker dragged me down here, I don't know.
Just eat the thing.
You asshole. This little mother tasty.
Told you, ass.
Ding Dong Burgers, a Globochem company.
Take it from me. I love you.
out of 10. So now I want to know, have you seen The Post? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite movie about print-based journalism? Is it The Post? Is it The Paper? Is it Spotlight? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. You can do so by clicking the Courtshake logo at the bottom right of your screen. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.